For many years, the people of Earth lived in peace, enjoying the advancements of their civilization. They had overcome many of their internal struggles, united by a shared vision of prosperity and progress. But this peace was suddenly and violently shattered when a massive alien fleet appeared in the sky, casting a shadow over the planet. The aliens, known as the Zoraxians, were a powerful and advanced race that had conquered countless worlds across the galaxy. They were feared by many, their reputation as ruthless conquerors preceding them. When the Zoraxian fleet arrived in Earth's orbit, they sent a chilling message to the planet's leaders: surrender and submit, or face total annihilation. Panic spread across the globe as the people of Earth realized the gravity of the situation. The leaders of Earth, gathered in an emergency session of the United Earth Council, were shocked and frightened. They knew their planet could not survive a full-scale invasion from such a powerful enemy. The Zoraxians' technology was far beyond anything humanity had ever encountered, and their fleet was vast, stretching across the sky like a swarm of locusts. Amidst the chaos and fear, one voice stood firm. General Mark Stone, the commander of Earth's defense forces, was not a man who would easily give into fear. He had faced many battles in his career, though none as daunting as this one. Yet, he was known for his courage and determination, qualities that had earned him the respect of both his peers and subordinates. "We will not surrender," General Stone declared, his voice cutting through the tension in the room. "We will fight to protect our home, no matter the cost." His words were a beacon of hope in a moment of despair. The leaders of Earth looked to him, seeing in his eyes the resolve they needed to muster. If they were to survive, they would have to stand united and face the threat head-on. Across the planet, preparations for war began in earnest. Factories that had once produced goods for peaceful purposes were quickly converted to manufacture weapons and defense systems. Scientists worked around the clock, developing new technologies to bolster Earth's defenses. Soldiers were mobilized, and civilians were trained in emergency protocols. The entire planet was transformed into a war machine, driven by the need to protect their home. The people of Earth were inspired by General Stone's resolve. They knew they were facing a formidable enemy, one that had brought entire civilizations to their knees. But they also knew that this was their home, their only home, and they would not give it up without a fight. As the Zoraxian fleet loomed closer, casting an ever-growing shadow over the planet, the people of Earth prepared themselves for the battle ahead. The skies above were filled with the hum of engines as Earth's ships took to the stars, ready to defend their world. Soldiers stood ready at their posts, weapons in hand, knowing that the fate of their planet rested on their shoulders. General Stone, standing on the bridge of his flagship, the Terra Nova, looked out at the stars. He knew the battle would be long and hard, and that many lives would be lost. But he also knew that they could not afford to lose. The Zoraxians were powerful, but they were not invincible. And as long as there was even a single human left standing, Earth would fight. "We will show them what it means to threaten Earth," General Stone said to his officers, his voice filled with determination. "They think they can intimidate us into submission, but they are wrong. We will defend our home, and we will make them regret ever thinking they could conquer us." The first battle was coming, and with it, the fate of Earth would be decided. But as the people of Earth looked to the stars, they did so with a newfound sense of purpose. They were not just fighting for survival. They were fighting for their future, for everything they had built, and for the right to live in peace. The war was about to begin, and Earth was ready to fight. The day of the first battle arrived, and the tension across Earth was palpable. The Zoraxian fleet had completed its approach, their ships now a menacing presence in Earth's orbit. These massive vessels, with their dark, sleek designs and pulsating energy cores, hung like harbingers of doom in the sky. The people of Earth watched with a mixture of fear and defiance, knowing that the fate of their world would be decided in the coming hours. Earth's defense forces, under the command of General Mark Stone, were ready. The fleet, though small compared to the vast armada of the Zoraxians, was composed of Earth's finest ships, crewed by its bravest soldiers. The flagship Terra Nova stood at the head of the formation, its sleek lines and powerful weapons systems a testament to humanity's ingenuity and resilience. As the Zoraxians began their descent towards Earth, the skies above the planet erupted with activity. Earth's ships rose to meet the invaders, engines blazing as they streaked through the atmosphere and into space. The battle was about to begin. "Prepare for engagement," General Stone ordered, his voice calm but resolute. He stood on the bridge of the Terra Nova, surrounded by his officers. The tension was thick, but there was no room for doubt or hesitation. The two fleets closed the distance rapidly, and soon the void of space was filled with the bright flashes of energy weapons and the trails of missiles. Earth's ships, though outnumbered, fought with a tenacity that took the Zoraxians by surprise. They dodged and weaved through the enemy formation, using their smaller size and superior maneuverability to strike hard and fast. But the Zoraxians were a formidable foe. Their ships were heavily armored and equipped with advanced weaponry that Earth had never seen before. Massive beams of energy lanced out from the Zoraxian battleships, tearing through Earth's smaller vessels with terrifying ease. Explosions lit up the darkness as Earth's ships were destroyed, one by one. General Stone watched the battle unfold on the tactical display, his mind racing as he issued orders. Evasive maneuvers. Focus fire on their lead ship. We need to break their formation. The Terra Nova led the charge, its weapons blazing as it engaged the nearest Zoraxian cruiser. The two ships exchanged volleys of fire, the space between them lit up by the fury of their battle. Despite the damage it sustained, the Terra Nova pressed on, determined to take down the enemy. But the battle was not going in Earth's favor. The Zoraxians' superior numbers and technology were taking their toll. The defensive line around Earth was beginning to buckle, and the Zoraxian ships were pushing closer to the planet. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, a message came through from Earth's surface. The scientists working on a secret project had finally completed the EMP cannon, a weapon designed to disable the electronic systems of the enemy fleet. It was their last desperate hope. "Activate the EMP cannon," General Stone ordered. The weapon, housed in a secret facility on Earth, fired a massive pulse of electromagnetic energy into space. The pulse spread out in all directions, washing over the battlefield. For a moment, everything went silent. The lights on the Zoraxian ships flickered, and their weapons fell silent. The EMP cannon had worked, disabling many of the enemy's systems and giving Earth's forces a brief window of opportunity. "Now, all ships, concentrate your fire," General Stone shouted. Earth's fleet rallied, seizing the chance to strike back. The remaining ships unleashed a barrage of missiles and energy blasts, targeting the disabled Zoraxian vessels. Ship after ship exploded in brilliant bursts of light as Earth's forces pressed their advantage. The Terra Nova led the final push, its weapons systems fully engaged as it tore through the enemy ranks. The Zoraxians, caught off guard by the EMP and the sudden counterattack, began to falter. Their once impenetrable formation broke apart, and the surviving ships started to retreat. By the end of the battle, the space above Earth was littered with the wreckage of both human and Zoraxian ships. The cost had been high. Many brave soldiers had lost their lives defending their home. But Earth had survived the first assault. The Zoraxians had been pushed back, at least for now. General Stone stood on the bridge of the Terra Nova, looking out at the battlefield. The destruction was immense, but there was a sense of grim satisfaction among the crew. They had faced the enemy and lived to fight another day. "We've bought ourselves some time," General Stone said quietly to his officers. "But this war is far from over. We need to be ready for what comes next." As the Terra Nova and the remaining ships of Earth's fleet returned to the planet, preparations for the next battle began. The people of Earth knew that the Zoraxians would return, stronger and more determined than before. But they also knew that they had proven themselves in the face of overwhelming odds. The battle for Earth had just begun, and they were ready to fight until the end. After the first battle, Earth's leaders knew that they couldn't win the war against the Zoraxians alone. The enemy was simply too powerful, their technology too advanced. General Mark Stone, now hailed as a hero for his leadership during the battle, understood this better than anyone. He knew that if Earth was to stand a chance, they needed allies other races who had also suffered under the Zoraxians' oppressive rule. General Stone and a team of diplomats set out on a mission to forge alliances with neighboring star systems. They traveled in the Terra Nova, now not just a battleship, but a symbol of Earth's resilience. The journey took them to distant worlds, each with its own unique culture and challenges. The first stop was Aquaria, a planet entirely covered in water. The Aquarians, a water-dwelling species with advanced technology, were known for their scientific prowess and deep connection to the natural world. As the Terra Nova approached the planet, its crew marveled at the sight of shimmering oceans stretching as far as the eye could see. General Stone, accompanied by Earth's top diplomats, met with the leaders of the Aquarians in a grand underwater city. The Aquarian Council, composed of wise and ancient beings with flowing, translucent forms, listened intently as Stone explained the dire situation. "The Zoraxians are a threat to all of us," Stone said, his voice steady but urgent. "They won't stop with Earth. Once they've conquered us, they'll turn their eyes to your world. We need your help to stop them." The Aquarians, who had long valued peace and stability, were hesitant. They had avoided direct conflict with the Zoraxians in the past, relying on their remote location and advanced technology to protect them. But the images and data Stone presented showing the devastation the Zoraxians had wrought on other planets made them realize that they could no longer remain isolated. "We understand your plight, General Stone," said the leader of the Aquarian Council, her voice calm and soothing like the ebb and flow of the tides. "We have seen what the Zoraxians are capable of. We will join your alliance and share our technology with you. Together, we may have a chance to stand against them." With the Aquarians' support secured, General Stone and his team moved on to their next target, Xelon Prime, the homeworld of the Xelons, a warrior race known for their strength, honor, and relentless determination. Xelon Prime was a harsh planet with rugged landscapes, its people forged by the planet's demanding conditions into formidable fighters. As the Terra Nova entered the orbit of Xelon Prime, Stone knew this negotiation would be different. The Xelons respected strength above all else, and to gain their trust, he would need to prove Earth's worth as a fighting force. The delegation was greeted by the Xelon High Council, a group of battle-scarred warriors who had seen countless wars. They were tall, muscular beings with armored skin and piercing eyes that seemed to look right through you. "Why should we join your fight, human?" asked the Xelon warlord, his voice a deep rumble. "We have fought the Zoraxians before and held our ground. What can your people offer that we cannot achieve on our own?" Stone, undeterred by the warlord's imposing presence, stood tall and met his gaze. "We may not have your strength, but we have our own kind of power, unity. Earth is fighting for its survival, but we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for a galaxy free from Zoraxian tyranny. If we stand together, we can hit them where it hurts, and we can win." The warlord studied Stone for a long moment before nodding slowly. "You speak with conviction, General. We have heard of your victory in the first battle, and it has earned you our respect. The Zealons do not shy away from a fight. We will join your alliance and bring the full might of our warriors to bear against the Zoraxians. With the Zealons and Aquarians now allied with Earth, the foundation of a powerful coalition was formed. The three races, each bringing their unique strengths to the table, began to coordinate their efforts. Earth's technological advancements, the Aquarians' scientific knowledge, and the Zealons' military prowess combined to create a formidable force. The leaders of the alliance met on Earth to plan their next move. The meeting was held in a secure facility deep underground, far from the prying eyes of the Zoraxians. Holographic displays filled the room, showing the latest intelligence on Zoraxian movements and potential targets. "We must strike back before they can recover," General Stone said, addressing the gathered leaders. "We need to take the fight to them, show them that we are not just defending our worlds, but that we are capable of taking the offensive." The Aquarian leader nodded in agreement. "Our scientists have been working on a way to disrupt the Zoraxians' communication networks. If we can cut off their lines of communication, we can create confusion in their ranks. And my warriors are ready for battle," added the Zealon warlord. "We will strike hard and fast, hitting them where they least expect it." The plan was set. The Allied fleet, now composed of ships from Earth, Aquaria, and Zealon Prime, would launch a coordinated assault on the Zoraxian homeworld. It was a bold and dangerous move, but it was the only way to turn the tide of the war. As the leaders finalized their strategy, General Stone felt a sense of determination settle over him. The road ahead would be difficult, and the cost would be high, but for the first time, they had a real chance of defeating the Zoraxians. The alliance was their best hope, and he was ready to lead them into the fray. The Allied fleet set off for the Zoraxian homeworld, their ships cutting through the darkness of space with purpose. They were united by a common goal: to end the Zoraxian threat once and for all, and to protect their worlds from a fate worse than death. The Allied fleet arrived at the Zoraxian homeworld and was met with fierce resistance. The Zoraxians had fortified their planet with powerful defenses, and the battle was brutal. The sky was filled with the light of explosions and the sound of ships being torn apart. General Stone led the charge, his flagship Terra Nova at the front of the battle. The alliance fought with everything they had, pushing forward despite heavy losses. As the battle raged on, General Stone saw an opportunity. The Zoraxians' main power generator was vulnerable. If they could destroy it, they could cripple the enemy's defenses and turn the tide of the war. "Prepare for a full assault on the generator," he ordered. "This is our chance to end this war." The Allied fleet, composed of Earth's finest warships, along with vessels from their newly formed allies, directed all their combined firepower toward the central power generator of the Zoraxian stronghold. This generator was the heart of the enemy's defenses, a massive, heavily fortified structure that powered the shields and weapons systems protecting their homeworld. The Allied ships moved into position with precision, their weapons systems locking onto the target. With a coordinated effort, they unleashed a relentless barrage of laser beams, plasma bolts, and missile strikes. The sky above the Zoraxian planet was lit up with the fury of the assault as the Allied fleet poured everything they had into breaking through the enemy's defenses. The generator's shields, designed to withstand almost any attack, flickered and held for a time, but the relentless assault began to take its toll. The battle was intense, with the Zoraxian defenders throwing everything they had at the attacking fleet in a desperate attempt to protect their power source. The air was thick with the chaos of combat, ships dodging and weaving through a storm of enemy fire while continuing their assault on the generator. Explosions erupted in the atmosphere, and the ground below shook as the conflict raged on. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of fierce combat, the combined firepower of the Allied fleet overwhelmed the generator's defenses. The massive structure, unable to withstand the onslaught any longer, succumbed to the devastating barrage. A colossal explosion tore through the heart of the Zoraxian defenses, sending shockwaves across the planet and causing the very ground to tremble. The destruction of the generator was a turning point, crippling the Zoraxians and marking a significant victory for the Allied forces. With their defenses down, the Zoraxians were finally defeated. The Allied fleet had won, but at a great cost. Many brave soldiers had been lost in the fight. With the Zoraxians defeated, peace returned to the galaxy. Earth and its allies celebrated their victory, but they also mourned the lives that were lost. General Stone stood on the bridge of the Terra Nova, looking out at the stars. He knew that the galaxy was still a dangerous place, but he was proud of what they had accomplished. "We fought for our home, and we won," he said. "But now we must work to build a lasting peace." The alliance between Earth, the Aquarians, and the Zealons grew stronger in the years that followed. Together, they worked to protect the galaxy from any future threats. General Stone became a hero, remembered for his bravery and leadership. And though he knew that the fight for peace was never truly over, he was ready for whatever challenges the future might bring.